Yes, how are you, everyone? Welcome to our webinar today. Our topic today, we are having the opportunities for youth and women in agribusiness. This is a forum that is organized by Invest in Africa in partnership with BIDCO Kenya Limited, MasterCard Foundation, and Agriculture Ventures. It's an SME forum, and our guests today will be John Kariuki, the Agribusiness Development Lead at BIDCO AFRICA Kenya Limited, and Pauline Otila, who is the Managing Director of Agriculture Venture Limited. So without much ado, I will go into introducing Invest in Africa, then from there we will progress. So Invest in Africa is a private partnership initiative. We are catalyzing job creation, and particularly we're interested in the growth and development of SMEs. We are a Pan-African organization, and our vision is to prosper African economies. And you will concur with me that for the African economies to grow and excel, we have to work with SMEs, and that's why our work is focused on SMEs. And we basically enable trade between SMEs and large corporations. And we do this by enhancing skills and improving markets, and also access to finance for the SMEs. And then we have the Biashara Now, which is an online platform which creates opportunities for access to markets for SMEs. Then we have access to finance, which we provide financial linkage to SMEs according to, in various value chain. The forum that we are having today is part of what we've been doing with MasterCard Foundation, which is also one of our partners. And ideally, we are looking also beyond what we do normally, is to provide opportunities for SMEs to be more resilient and to even recover, and to position them beyond, to position them for growth beyond such situations where we have in right now, like the COVID pandemic and any other shocks that affect the SME. So we have 5 programs that we're running: the master classes, coaches, peer-to-peer sessions for networking and creating linkages, the Knowledge Academy, as well as access to finance. And to know more, we've put a contact there for Pauline Mishai, who can tell you more about that and how it is working. So today's masterclass, as I've shown you, I've shared with you earlier, is about just creating awareness about the opportunities that are available. And our main focus today is to look at how these opportunities can be unlocked for the youth and women in agribusiness opportunities. But our approach mostly looking at private sector, because the private sector is at the core of this work, and that's why we have our partner BIDCO here today, as well as apiculture, who are private sector players who are in this sector and are creating opportunities for youth and women. The other thing where we want to achieve today is to know what are the expectations of this project, and this will be very good for you to understand how you can implement, how you can plug in, and even how you can make money out of this venture. And there are opportunities in sunflower and beekeeping. So we will want BIDCO also as aspirations to see how youth and women can participate in these opportunities. So to start us off, perhaps I will ask John just to tell us more about BIDCO. I know most of you have known BIDCO from the supermarket. Just to make opening remarks about BIDCO, then I will invite Pauline also to just make opening remarks about apiculture. Then we'll proceed from there. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dennis, for that good introduction. As I've been introduced, my name is John Kariuki. heading Agribusiness Development in BIDCO Africa. BIDCO is one of the largest fast consumer moving goods manufacturer in this region. We are based in Kenya. We have other facilities in Uganda, in Tanzania, and Madagascar. Basically, we manufacture oils and fats. You already know them. You know Kibo, you know chips. We'll be talking about this later. We also manufacture health and personal care products. We manufacture soaps, laundry soaps, beauty soaps, detergents, all those household goods that you use for cleaning the kitchen. We manufacture all that. And we recently got into the food and the beverage industry. We are manufacturing noodles, we manufacture sodas, we are manufacturing water. And besides that, we also manufacture animal feeds. And all those products that I've talked about, most of the raw materials, we source them from the smallholder farmers. BIDCO has farmers across Kenya, in different parts of Kenya, that supply us with raw materials in form of sunflower, in form of soya beans, maize germ, and we will be talking more about what are some of the opportunities that exist in BIDCO for women and youth, and you'll see there are enormous opportunities for everyone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. That's so sets the agenda for today. Perhaps maybe we could hear from Pauline now. Welcome, Pauline.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Pauline, as you heard, the Managing Director of Agriculture Venture. Basically, what Agriculture Venture does, we are located in Nairobi, and we have 4 main activities that we are engaged in terms of beekeeping. And one of them is about manufacturing modern beekeeping equipment and other related honey processing equipment. We also train on modern beekeeping, wherever an individual, a group, an organization that is interested in doing beekeeping, we train them before they embark into the journey of beekeeping. Another aspect that we also engage in is the pollination aspect of it. And in terms of pollination, we've worked closely with BIDCO, where we've coordinated the oilseed sunflower crops in Nakuru. And that's how the partnership came about, to engage other farmers who will be involved in producing beekeeping, in producing honey through pollination of sunflower. And also, finally, we buy honey and other related beekeeping products, which we also package, as you see in our introduction. We package under our product called Bee Honey, and we also package the golden comb, wax, and other related products. So it will be a good opportunity for all of you to engage in beekeeping, so that you can see the benefits you can achieve just apart from producing honey, but also pollinating the sunflower crop.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pauline and John, for the opening remarks. That gives us a context of our topic today. And I'll just like to bring your attention to the importance of what Pauline and John are saying, especially in view of our topic today. As you are aware that agribusiness is the backbone of the Kenyan economy, and it directly contributes to about 24% to the annual GDP, and another 27% of indirect contribution. And this speaks of a lot of potential that agribusiness has in terms of unlocking opportunities for jobs in Kenya. So I would just like to invite John and just to tell us more about how the youth and women can start preparing in terms of their participation in this value chain, and especially looking at how BIDCO has put in mechanisms to not only support those who are already in agribusiness, but also those who might be having some resources like, let's say, land, and they want to venture into these value chains like the sunflower value chain, and we'll bring in Pauline later to tell us more about BIDCO, but we'll most likely want to understand how BIDCO has organized this so that women and youth in Kenya can participate and join the work that BIDCO is doing in creating jobs in Kenya. Welcome, John.
Thank you very much, Dennis. There's the opportunities will go beyond actually what we are covering with a MasterCard, because there could be some other youths that are interested in other opportunities in BIDCO. So it will go beyond sunflower, because we have several other opportunities that exist in BIDCO. I've already introduced BIDCO, some of the products that we manufacture, so I don't need to do much on that. So we are going to discuss about 4 opportunities that exist. In fact, 3 opportunities that exist within BIDCO. That is contract farming for oilseeds, the sunflower and soybeans. And that complements also with the hand value chain, which Pauline will be talking about. Then we have animal feeds. We have one of the largest animal feed manufacturing plant in Nakuru, where we manufacture dairy and poultry feeds. We will talk about that. Then we have another opportunity for bamboo production, which we will talk in detail. We will get into details on that later to see how bamboo can benefit the youths and women. Now, the first opportunity, as we have said, is contract farming. And in BIDCO, we have a philosophy that we call soil fund philosophy, where we always look at the entire value chain from production, processing, all the way to marketing and distribution. And by so doing, we enhance the shared value. We don't leave anybody behind. We enhance shared value, inclusivity, where we go along with the youths and women and anybody else at the bottom of the pyramid. And of course, we do that in a sustainable manner. And the crops that we contract farmers to grow is mainly soybeans and sunflower. We do that through contract farming. We engage the farmers through a contract, an offtake contract. And the offtake contract clearly stipulates what are the obligations of the farmer, what are the obligations of BIDCO. The obligation of BIDCO is provide you with a market. We link you up to the input suppliers. We also provide you with the technical support. We can provide you also with for the financial providers, like we are doing through Invest in Africa. And we can also link you up to insurance agencies if there is need. So the 2 value chains, soybean and sunflower, we have a demand of about 20,000 metric tons of each. And out of that, the bulk of it comes from Tanzania, Uganda, Malawi, and Zambia. And these are crops that can be grown locally by our women and our youths. And that's why we come up with this program with Invest in Africa to see what is it that we can do to come together so that we bring all the value chain players to ensure that BIDCO is able to satisfy its raw material requirements in a sustainable and in an inclusive manner. As I said, we provide technical support. We provide technical support to all the farmers to ensure that there is productivity. We train farmers on good agricultural practices, soil management practices, climate smart agriculture, post-harvest handling techniques. We also do mentorship programs for youth. We've done several times for institutions like Strathmore University, Jomo Kenyatta, MKU, and many others. Our chairman, Dr. Vimacha, is very good at that. One of the challenges that faces the farmers in Kenya is low productivity. And that's an issue that we've been trying to address. Over the years, we realized that one of the reasons why we are not able to get our raw materials in an adequate manner is because of low productivity. And going by that, we decided to take it up ourselves. And we did a demo farm early, in fact, late last year, which we harvested sometime in April, where we trained farmers on the good agricultural practices for planting sunflower, for planting soya, using modern technology, making sure that we follow or we use the right seeds, we follow good agricultural practices. And it was very successful. We had farmers coming from almost every county of this country. And we were able to demonstrate to them that it is possible to grow sunflower, it is possible to grow soya in Kenya in a sustainable manner that we achieve the right productivity. Along with that, we also incorporated our demo farm with, we incorporated the honey value chain, where we collaborated or worked together with apiculture, which Pauline will be talking about. And you may be wondering, why do we need bees in sunflower production? We need bees to enhance pollination. For you to get good yields in sunflower production, you need bees for pollination. So once you plant sunflower and you put bees, you will be able to enhance the productivity for your sunflower. At the same time, you'll get extra income from the honey that will be harvested from the beehives. Pauline will delve into that in more details. So basically, if you want to become a farmer, or you want to be integrated in the value chains for BIDCO, we do that through offtake contract, which can be sent to you through email. You fill it. First of all, you have to express the interest, of course. Once you express the interest, indicating where your farm is, what is the size of your farm, then we will send you the contract. So this is not just by word of mouth, but it's through an offtake contract, as I had said before. For the youths that do not have land, we are collaborating with various government agencies to see whether we can be able to lease land from, for example, like the ADC. We're also working along with counties to see whether they can lease land from land for the youths also. So, and for a youth that does not have land, you don't have to get discouraged. You could also lease land. You can lease land from somebody, and it's quite cheap. And leasing, for example, 1 acre in an area costs about, I think it's about 5,000 to 10,000 depending on location. So it's possible. You don't need to own land, but you can lease. You can lease from the local communities. You can lease from the government. You can lease from the counties. So that opportunity is available. So basically, that is one of the main opportunities that exist in BIDCO, contract farming for sunflower. It's already ongoing. Most of the farmers have already acquired the seeds, but it's not late. The planting season starts mid-October this year. So you still have a chance, those of us that have not yet gotten into this. You get in touch with Invest in Africa, and we'll give you the full details. We also have an opportunity for those farmers that are doing poultry feeds or dairy feeds we have an opportunity to provide you with high quality animal feeds. We recently launched, sometime last year, we launched one of the biggest animal feed manufacturing company. It's churning about 160,000 metric tons of both daily and poultry feeds. It's based in Nakuru, and this is a partnership between BIDCO and Land O'Lakes. Land O'Lakes of America is one of the largest in manufacture of animal feeds. So they brought in the American technology and leveraging on our distribution channels, and we are using new innovation. So the feeds, they are of high quality and they are doing very well. And you can get them in any of the stockists in your nearby area. You can get in touch with us. We can always help you get in touch with them. Now, the last opportunity that I want to discuss is about bamboo production. BIDCO generates 70% of its energy internally, and we generate by burning agro waste such as coffee husk, macadamia husk, rice husk, waste products. But we also use a bit of wood, but that is not sustainable. And that's why we came up with this project of using bamboo, because bamboo, high calorific value, just like eucalyptus or any other tree, it grows very fast. Within 3.5 to 4 years, bamboo is ready. Unlike eucalyptus, which will take 7 years, within that 7 years, if you cut, you have to plant another one. For bamboo, once you plant, you don't have to plant again for the next 60, 70 years. That's why we say it's a source of renewable energy, because the moment you plant and cut it, once it's mature, you don't need to plant again. It keeps regenerating over and over the years. So we are encouraging farmers that have idle land or riparian land or any land that you are not using. You can put bamboo, because it's also very good at environment conservation. So we are looking at bamboo in 2 ways. One, for biomass production for a boiler, but we are also looking at it in form of environment conservation. We have a project called Save Our Water Towers, which we commissioned in 2017, where we plan to plant 1 million bamboo seedlings in our watersheds, the watersheds that supply 80% of the water to Nairobi and its environs. So we've been planting bamboo in those watershed areas. We've done that in Dakaine, we've done in the Gedogori Dam, and this year we wanted to do it in Sasmua Dam, but we were interrupted by COVID. But we will soon get back to it. So we are looking at bamboo in those 2 aspects. As for environment conservation, you can use it for conserving your own land, those of us who are in degraded areas, or we can, as I've said, we also need it for biomass production. So basically, those are the 3 opportunities that I wanted to share with you. But for today, the main discussion is mainly on sunflower production, because that's the partnership between Invest in Africa for Now and MasterCard, where we are looking at economically empowering our youths and women by providing them that opportunity, or rather the ready market to produce that. And we also provide them with technical support. Invest in Africa, we brought them in because we felt that over the years, we needed an organization that can bring together all the partners together, so that we are able to strengthen the value chain, and we will be able to get the raw materials that we require. So basically, that's what I wanted to discuss with you. I will invite Pauline to do a presentation on beekeeping, then we can have the questions after this. Thank you. Pauline?
Thank you. As John has rightly said, we are partnering together with BIDCO, and apiculture is coming in terms of the expertise in the honey and the beekeeping and honey industry. So the same apiculture venture will get into a contract with any interested farmer who is doing sunflower farming, and we will supply you with beekeeping equipment, which you will use in terms of pollinating your sunflower. As it's known, bees are very important in pollinating crops, and sunflower is one of them. So when this opportunity came through as apiculture, of course we're excited because we are also in need of honey. The growing demand of honey is tremendous, and if many of us can get into beekeeping, then that means the demand of honey will be met both locally and also for export purposes. We've been getting so many requests for honey, and that's why we thought this is a good avenue to engage many farmers to engage in beekeeping. So how will the model work? Basically, as I told you, we are producing beekeeping equipment. We have come up with a package for 1 acre and for 2 acres, and of course the numbers can increase depending on the acreage that you are cultivating your crops. So we will supply you with the beekeeping equipment, which are the modern hives, the Langstroth beehives. And these Langstroth beehives, we will use 5 hives per acre to pollinate an acre of sunflower. Of course, if you have 2 acres, we will increase the numbers to 10. If you have 3 acres, we will increase the number to 15. And how apiculture will work is that we will come in and train the farmers on modern beekeeping. We will train you on installation. We will offer our extension services, whereby we will come and also follow up on what you're doing on beekeeping, and eventually we will buy the honey that you've produced. This does not stop even after you've harvested your sunflower in the first cycle, the second cycle. We'll continue working with the farmer based on the contract that we've signed with the farmer. If the farm, normally we will offer a 1-year contract which is renewable. So we will take you through all the necessary steps that are required with beekeeping, and further engage you with, of course, a good price to buy your commodity. And we are not only going to train you on honey production. There are many other opportunities in the beekeeping value chain. Apart from honey, we will also take you through wax production, wax processing, because we'll also produce wax from the same beehives, which we will buy from the farmer because we need the wax to make the hives. We'll also interest the farmer in propolis, because we also see propolis that a byproduct of the hive. It's a hive product, so we will also train you on propolis trapping. There's also an opportunity of pollen trapping, which we will also train the farmer. So just apart from looking at the honey, there are other various opportunities, which, as I mentioned, honey, wax, propolis, and pollen. All these are just from these beehives. All you need to probably invest in, which we'll share on the contract, what you need to invest in and the returns, is just small equipment that is required to produce this. So this is an opportunity actually for the youth and for women, and especially youth, that you can take advantage of, even if you do not have, and just as Kariuki has said, once you plant the crops, the bees do not take a big space. So you take advantage of that. You do not need to go and start tilling the land. It's just installing the hive, teaching simple procedures of managing your apiary, which is within your sunflower plantation. And with that, you'll be able to make maximum use of the land that you have. I know many people will ask, how do they get the training? How does apiculture help in all this? Our training is actually free. We do not charge for the training, and that's how apiculture comes in. We are not going to charge you for the training when you have the equipment. Once you have expressed interest, which there's a form for expression of interest that you want to work with us, and we will move in, and once you bought the hives, of course, and you've signed a contract, we will come in and install the hives. There are challenges, of course, which we will face in terms of probably distance. There are people who farm, and that might be a challenge. But transport will be based on the farmer. The farmer will have to come and collect the equipment. But when it comes to on-site training, Apiculture Venture will come and do the training free of charge, including follow-up. And we will buy all the products you produce, all the honey, all the wax, all the propolis and all the pollen. This is an assured market that you will not produce this product and you start asking, where do I take my product? So with the contract that we have signed with you through this project of BIDCO with Agriculture and IIA, so you'll be assured that your produce will have somebody who will buy it. That's all for now. Thank you.
Wow, that was wonderful. I'm in awe with the opportunities that are there. Maybe John, just something that I'm sure most of the SMEs and the youth and the women would really want to know. Why is BIDCO particularly interested in the youth and women in your value chain?
Yeah, as I said, in our soil to pan philosophy, we believe in shared value. We believe in leaving nobody behind, and therefore we believe in carrying along with us women and youth, because we believe by investing in women and by investing in the young generation, then we should be able to enhance the prosperity, economically empower the youths and women, and by so doing also BIDCO should benefit by getting enough raw material supply.
Thank you very much, John. And just to amplify what John is saying, and this is some of BIDCO is one of the companies that Invest in Africa is working with, and in his presentation he has articulated that very, very clearly in terms of how we want to unlock the opportunities in the private sector. And I just wanted to remind you that Invest in Africa is working in the agriculture value chain. We're also interested in infrastructure, and we are deepening strategic partnerships so as to unlock the linkages and opportunities for youth and women, entrepreneurs to access opportunities in private sector, and that is how we are making a contribution to the transformation of Kenya. John, there are some questions that have just come up in the course of your presentation. And there is one farmer from Kajiado County who is asking, where can they find bamboo seedlings? I think they're interested to know if there are any other programs or places where you could refer, where they have good seedlings for bamboo. Then the second question is about soil testing. This particularly, I think, is trying to ask the question about having the right soil profile for growing perhaps sunflower, soybeans, and bamboo. So could you answer that question on the soil testing services as well as the availability of seedlings? I'm sure the farmer is from Kajiado, but perhaps in the interest of other farmers who are coming from other parts of the country, you could give a general scope, because we also have the Kenya Youth Business Trust, who are our friends from the coastal region. They are also here in the webinar. I'm sure they will want to know more about this too. So welcome, John.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'll start with soil testing. Yeah, we always encourage farmers to get their soils tested before you start planting. It's important so that you can know the type of fertilizer that you need. You need to know the nutrient status of your soil, and you can only do that by doing soil testing. I would recommend if you want to have your soils tested, the best company to do that is CropNut. CropNut, they are based in Lemuru. You can look for their contacts in the internet. They are available. I can do also send over the contacts over to you. Now the bamboo seedlings, they are available at Isinya. Somebody from Kajiado was asking that. It's close to you, to where you come from. We get the bamboo seedlings from Isinya. There is a farm called Kitio Farm that specializes on propagation of bamboo seedlings, and it's one of the biggest in this region. There is also somebody that was asking, can sunflower do well in semi-arid areas? Sunflower is drought tolerant. It's drought tolerant and it can do well in drought areas. It only requires some little moisture during germination and that flowering stage. So it can survive well in dry areas.
I'll just make an addition to what John has said. We also have Polycon. Polycon is one of the SMEs who are on the Biashara Now platform, and they are a reputable company also in doing soil testing and quality assurance of this. So perhaps also those who are interested in finding out how they can be supported beyond Pronat, they can also seek their services. They're actually attending this webinar today, and we've been to their facility in Mombasa. John, another question that has just come up also is about the purchase of inputs. There's a farmer that is asking, she's from the mompreneurs, and they're asking if there are arrangement or facilities that have been put in place within this project to be able to support farmers in accessing inputs that they can use to start off in these ventures.
Okay, thank you very much for that question about inputs. Yes, we are in partnership with Kenya Seed Company. Kenya Seed Company, through the BIDCO partnership, they'll sell to you seeds, sunflower seeds, at a very reasonable price. One kilo costs about 200 shillings. Then fertilizer, we are working in partnership with MEA. We all know MEA. MEA is one of the largest fertilizer manufacturing companies. We are also working with them. They can actually even do soil testing for you and recommend the fertilizer that you can use.
John has given us a very good overview of this project and what BIDCO is offering. He has touched on the sunflower, how you can do it, where you can start. He's also touched on soybeans, and more interestingly, has talked about bamboo, which I personally have found very, very interesting. And BIDCO would like to align their business into being a sustainable business, but also more importantly has talked about how they're using these approaches to work with youth and women and aligning these to environmental conservation, and that's why they will want to use bamboo to power their boilers and all their energy needs in the factory. I'll just like to come back to Pauline, and I think all of us are now seeing the linkage between the sunflower farming and the beekeeping. And one of the things I just wanted to ask Pauline is that in terms of beekeeping, are there areas in Kenya which are more favorable for beekeeping, or bees can be kept anywhere, and what are the preconditions that are needed before? Because maybe where I'm coming from is a stony area and maybe even there are no flowers. Is that a concern, or bees can be kept anywhere? Maybe you could just give some insights on that.
Okay, thank you for that question. One, the fact that we are working with sunflower farms, there's already forage, so the issue of forage is sorted out. But of course, there are conditions that have to be met for beekeeping to thrive in an area. One of them is we need areas with water. If there's no water, you've got to produce what you've got to provide water for the bees, because honeybees need a lot of water so that they can mix the they use it to mix the nectar, they produce the honey. So water is very essential. And then security, of course, you need security for your hives. So it's also important you don't just go and install your hives in a plantation somewhere and you leave your hives there to produce. Well, another issue is foragers. Bees need nectar to produce the honey. So in of sunflower, we also need other foragers in the environment. Apart from, because when you harvest the sunflower, you also need you continue doing beekeeping. So we'll also foraging plants is very important for them. For the bees, accessibility. Remember, if these hives are full of honey, they need to be extracted. So the area also has to be accessible. Good roads, you can easily access, not necessarily tarmac, but I can easily access your area to help in inspection of the hives and all that. And also, just general areas receive a little bit of rainfall because honey is harvested in Kenya 2 seasons. The long rains and the short rains. During the long rains, you're able to get at least 2 harvests, and the short rains you're able to get 1. So those are just some of the factors you need to consider in also, just apart from the sunflower that you will before you embark into.
Paulina, I was just reading a question from one of the SMEs who is asking about the wax and the propolis, and they are asking if first of all, the issue of processing, because they say that propolis is being used it has some medicinal properties. So how does that process? And also, what do you do with the wax that come out of the beehives?
When it comes to propolis, yes, we buy propolis, and we can buy it raw, the way you collected it from your hives. If you're interested in processing it, there's training involved. We will take you through the training on how to process propolis. It's not a complicated process, but there are other equipment involved. So if you're not producing a lot, we will not encourage you to start processing propolis. It's used in for different purposes. It can be added in cosmetics, it's used for medicinal purposes, I should rightly say. But to encourage farmers so that they don't go through the entire process of buying all the processing equipment, we will buy it in the raw form, and because we'll have it in large quantity, we'll be able to process it. Similarly to wax. The wax, we use it mainly at apiculture. We use the wax for using it as comb starter in the beehives. That is what we process and later on fit it in the hives to manufacture. Because it's pure beeswax, the bees are easily attracted in the beehive so that for colonization purposes. So all the wax we produce, we also assuring you will buy because we use it. Yes, we'll sell it to other manufacturers who use it in cosmetics industry, in making candles, in aromatherapy purposes, but mainly we like buying it raw so that we process it to meet our requirements or our needs for the beehives.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pauline. I think it's coming out very, very clearly and in terms of how the opportunity is working, in terms of where will you sell your honey once you've produced it. And this is some of the things that as Invest in Africa, we are very, very focused on. And that's why we are having this forum. Basically to address the gap that most of the SMEs who supply various goods and services and even products lack markets or coordinated access. And Invest in Africa now comes into vet and list these suppliers so that they are able to do their business in a coordinated way. They're able to structure their supply to the market in a structured way. And more importantly, both John and Pauline have pronounced the importance of supporting farmers through training and extension services. And by extension, this what our partnership is geared to do, so that we ensure that these SMEs are able to meet the right standards and quality to supply for offtake partners. So one of the things that I've picked up from what Paulina said is that if you are interested in beekeeping, they will train you, they will show you how to do, they will link you with the suppliers of the equipment that you need. And more importantly, when your produce is ready, they are able to come and buy it from you. And I think that element of a secured market that is already in place is very, very important. And that is why we would like to have SME supported in that area, because it brings some element of sustainability in terms of ensuring that happens. And Pauline, there's a question that has just come from one of the farmers, SMEs here. And he's asking that how do you manage the balance between the safety of the bees, the beehives, and the threat to attack family members and livestock? This one is a big concern, especially if you're living with people and you also involved in other livelihood activities like livestock keeping. So could you shed some light on how farmers should organize their beehives within such an ecosystem?
When it comes to bee safety, we normally encourage farmers to install hives at least 100 meters away from social amenities, away from homesteads, away from roads, public roads, at least something that will disturb the bees. We will also, that's why we come in when it comes into installation. We will select the site with the positioning of the hives so that they are not easily disturbed, because bees normally attack when they are disturbed. So in this case, we are able to train you on the safety, and that's a part of the training that we take along to ensure the safety of your family, the safety of your livestock, and the safety of your neighbors. So this is part of the training that we also undertake. So before you embark again into beekeeping, there are guidelines that we'll give you, including even the easy safety measures, first aid measures that you need to undertake just in case there are attacks. And I can assure you, unless you touch a beehive during the day, bees do not easily attack human beings. We've learned to coexist with them. As simple as just here in my factory on Mombasa Road, I've got more than 5 colonies that I use for training, with more than 5 go downs around, and there's no any particular point that somebody has been attacked. Because once you train your team members, once you train the farmers on how to handle bees, the chances of attack are very slim.
Well, thank you, Pauline. But what about the animals? Because the question also touched on animals.
Yeah, it's normally recommended you fence off your apiary from the grazing area, and it's also good to tell your neighbors that just a simple sign, bees on site, just a sign that is warning somebody there are beehives here, which is something that I'm constantly doing with my farmers. Even if you buy hives, I'll tell you, just make a small placard, make a small board informing neighbors there are bees here. But most importantly, always fence off your apiary where you're keeping your hives.
Oh, that's quite interesting. Thank you. There's a question that is coming, and this is both to John and Pauline, and they're asking, suppose you want to get into this project and undertake this in your farm. Is it a must that when you are keeping sunflower, when you're growing sunflower, you also have to keep the bees? Or what if I want just to keep the bees only? What is that possible, or they have to carry both of them?
That is very much possible. You can keep bees alone, or you can grow sunflower alone. Remember, we said that bees are only supplementing or enhancing the pollination for sunflower. So you do not necessarily have to keep them. If you don't want to keep bees, just plant the sunflower, or if you not want to grow the sunflower, do beekeeping. But remember, the two supplement each other. If you need high quality honey, then you need the sunflower.
Again, if you look at the cycle of sunflower, it's I think three months to 3.5. So yeah. It's not a must you peg your beekeeping to sunflower. It's not a must you peg your sunflower to beekeeping, because you can keep bees and they'll forage on other foragers within your farm. Just like the way you can keep bees and you're not interested in producing propolis, you're not interested in producing wax, you're only interested in honey. So again, these things you can take them as individual activities without tying them to each other. Because there are people who also just tell me, you know what, just come and pollinate my crops, because they also offer pollination services. So you don't need to keep bees, you just need to hire my services as a pollinator. I move in with my bees, I pollinate your crops, on an agreement you pay me, and I move with my crops. That's that. Remember, at the start of it, I said that you offer pollination services. So you can as well just plant the sunflower. I'll come in with the beehives. You don't need to invest in a beehive. You just invest in the pollination service, and we'll pollinate your crops.
Wow, wow, wow. I didn't know people can move around with bees like that. That is quite an eye-opener. Yeah, but quite interesting. So I think farmers, you can say the opportunities are unlimited, and do not be limited by the limitations that you think you have. Talk with the experts we have here to help us to unlock these opportunities. There's a question that has come about the protection of the sunflower from birds. What are some of the strategies that farmers can use so that they safeguard the sunflower produce from the birds?
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Bird damage is one of the major challenges with sunflower production, and over the years, nobody has come up with seamless control for bird damage, but there are various ways that you can employ to minimize the damage. One is by planting a crop that is sweeter than sunflower around the sunflower, like, say, for example, like sorghum. You can plant some rinds of sorghum around your sunflower. That is one. Secondly, you can do bird scaring using something that makes some sharp noise, or you can use those of us that know those old cassettes that had some kind of a chain reel inside. You can use that to scare off the birds. You put some pieces in the farm, and when they are blown by wind and they are shiny and making some noise, that keeps off the birds. So those are some of the ways that you can use to prevent bird damage. But really, we don't have very good control for bird damage. Then the other and the most important is that you ensure that you don't plant sunflower alone in your area. Ensure that you plant quite a number of you so that you can share the risk.
We do have one more question. What is the minimum acreage for sunflower farming and bamboo for good returns?
For good returns for sunflower, you should not do less than 1 acre. You should do 1 acre and above, and preferably people should work in kind of a farmers group or a cooperative. The same thing with bamboo also. Do not do bamboo production for less than 1 acre. So it should be 1 acre and above. And for bamboo, we are only considering a radius of 200 kilometers from Thika. So if you are outside the 200 kilometers radius, then the project is not applicable to you.
Now we do have one more question. Can mompreneurs who have a piece of land below 1 acre benefit from your project?
No, they are not. We need to do, for it to be economical, you need to do 1 acre and above.
Okay, so I guess okay, great. That has been well answered. I hope Rozok, you've been answered. What are the buying prices for bamboo?
The buying price for bamboo is 5 shillings and 50 cents per kilo. Now, the way you deliver bamboo is you cut it into small, into 1 meter long cams. And when you deliver them to BIDCO, you'll be weighed and you'll be paid 5 shillings and 50 cents per kilo. That is equivalent to 5,500 shillings per ton. For sunflower, once you deliver to Nakuru, it will be sampled for moisture content and purity. And once it meets our requirements, we will buy it at 32 shillings a kilo.
So we'll bring this to a close, and we'll thank you very much. And as I said earlier, we will share the link for this conversation. So thank you very much, and have a good week ahead. Bye-bye.